I'm this police officer that's in charge
Oh,
of this
Chief Superintendent. Oh, okay, lovely.
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come on,
Otherwise, we're going to have to ask you to leave.
Come on, Superintendent. You don't just go around demanding ID from the members of the public.
I'd certainly do if they're a counter-terrorism risk.
Am I being detained at this moment? Am I currently detained?
Well, yeah, uniforms
No.
who are equipped to everything to do with you.
Okay, so I'm not detained. No. You have to have grounds to search me.
Yeah, I do.
No. You have to have objection. So you suspect me being a
You're
terrorist?
You're also filming people who
Okay.
police officers coming out who are not who are not wearing uniform.
No. You're making an assumption. You're refusing to even look it up. I've made you aware, and neither of you are making any sort of concerted effort to look up this memo to double check the facts before you get a uniformed officer down here to detain me and search me and abuse my human rights. No, you're abusing my rights.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel that breaks down police encounters and shows why knowing your rights matters. Today's clip comes from Power to the Proletariat, one of the best auditors in the UK. You'll find their channel linked down in the description, so go show them some support. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next breakdown. What starts as a simple attempt to film marked police vehicles quickly turns into senior officers demanding ID and threatening a Section 43 search. But the auditor stays calm, cites NPCC guidance, and shuts the overreach down with a brilliant legal breakdown. He maintains his composure, redirects the pressure towards accountability, and even critiques the body camera policy at the conclusion. Let's jump straight into it, because this one gets tense fast.
I like your bike, by the way. It's very nice.
You okay?
Yeah. What model is that one? I'm looking to upgrade.
Maybe one guy.
Yeah. No, I'm looking to upgrade. I'm on a 125 at the moment.
Yeah.
By the way, you just blocked somebody coming in. Just be careful of where you park your bike. He was literally trying to come in. All right. But yeah, so next time I'd recommend.
Because I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I understand that. But obviously you can pull over safely to the side and do so.
What's your name?
Pardon?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Liz.
Liz.
So I'm this police officer that's in charge
Oh,
of this
Chief Superintendent. Oh, okay, lovely.
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come
Otherwise,
on,
we're going to have to ask you to leave.
Come on, Superintendent. You don't just go around demanding ID from the members of the public.
I'd certainly do if they're a counter-terrorism risk.
Counter-terrorism risk? What makes it a counter-terrorism risk?
Filming our officers.
As I explained to the person on the bike, I don't even know who that is.
Okay,
But I'm just waiting for some marked vehicles to come in and out.
So, would you mind me asking, just asking, what are you doing here?
As I've just explained twice now, once to the person on the bike and one on to this lady.
Mate, listen. You can't really be outside police stations.
Okay, before you go ahead with the search, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you look up a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council regarding people filming in public places, regarding social media vloggers and police stations. I would highly recommend it before you land yourself a lawsuit.
Listen.
And that's you do what you
feel comfortable with that.
you do what you got to do. You do what you got. I will not say now. I do not consent to any searches. I know lawfully I don't have to, but I want to make that clear.
Regardless of your ability to film things in a public setting.
Right.
Obviously, you raise our awareness and our suspicion, particularly in an environment of severe CT risk.
And who are you, sorry?
I'm Inspector Tarek McKinsey.
Inspector
Tarek McKinsey.
McKinsey, that's a cool name, I like that. And have you got a warrant number there?
Yeah, I do. 243501.
243501, thank you. And do you have a warrant number? Sorry?
Mate, listen.
Sorry,
Instead of being obstructive.
No, I'm not being obstructive. I'm trying to get relevant
Can you
information.
just listen to me for a second, all right?
No, I don't have to listen to you, do I?
You don't?
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
So you've given me your warrant number. Do you have a warrant number, Superintendent, please?
We're not going to engage with any further.
Listen.
Well, you are, because you're saying that you're going to search me, so you would have to give your information at that point anyway, wouldn't you?
Can you grab one of the uniform lot?
Yeah.
And you're Charlie Wynn, so you're a constable, thank you.
That exchange revealed everything about this encounter. The superintendent shifted to demanding identification, then jumped straight to terrorism-related language to justify pressure. The auditor pushed back instantly, questioned the demand, and reminded them of filming guidance. In seconds, a polite conversation turned into a legal standoff. Notice how the auditor refused the frame they were building. By calmly challenging the ID demand and citing guidance before any search began, he denied them psychological control. The superintendent's authority weakened the moment legal language entered the conversation because confidence cannot outrun documented policy. Intimidation hit a wall, and preparation became protection as the threat of authority started collapsing under its own weakness. When you know the threshold for police powers, pressure loses its bite. Legal literacy creates confidence, and confidence helps you hold your ground lawfully. Would you have handed over ID here or challenged the terrorism claim like this auditor did? What would guide your decision?
Am I being detained at this moment? Am I currently detained?
Yeah, uniforms.
No.
You're equipped and everything to do with you.
Okay, so I'm not detained.
Not at this precise
Okay,
moment.
not at this precise moment. Well, again, as I said, you've got smartphones. I would highly recommend you look up this memo, okay? This memo is a key piece of evidence in court on these lawsuits.
I'm not disputing the fact that you're not allowed to film in the
Absolutely.
public setting, but the
So-
fact that you're here and filming police
No,
vehicles...
but the memo clearly states that filming outside a police station is not enough
Yeah,
grounds
that
for a
does-
Section 43 search, okay? And that is the key point of
You're not
evidence
just
that
filming
will win me
you're not
this
just filming
lawsuit.
outside a police station, you've told a colleague you're filming vehicles, that's capturing VR
Marked
data and
vehicles,
things like that.
marked vehicles.
Irrelevant.
No, we pay for them. Members of the public, as through our taxes,
yeah,
we pay for them.
That's
They're
fine.
not
You're allowed to
secret
do it, but
information.
we can also search
They're not
you
secret.
and to look into that.
No,
and check your phone
you
and
have
things
to
like
have grounds to search me.
that. Yeah, I do.
No, you have to have objection.
Filming people
So
coming in
you
and out.
suspect me being a terrorist?
You're also filming people who
Okay.
police officers coming out who are not who are not wearing uniform.
No, that
Sure,
you're
you are.
no, you're
That's
making
what
you're
I've
making
seen
an
you
assumption.
Yeah, we basically
You're making an
said-
assumption there.
The officer just came out and said you were filming as she exited. So,
Right, and do you know
so
that I
you're
was filming her?
Well, I have that suspicion. Okay.
Okay.
And that's enough for me to look into.
It's not. It doesn't. Filming in public.
we can debate
no,
this all day.
it's
We
not
can
a
debate
debate.
this
The
all
memo
day,
clearly
alright?
says it, and the fact that I've
Okay,
made you
well,
aware
that's
of this
fine.
memo is going to win me the
You're
lawsuit.
Look, that's absolutely fine. You're
It's
filming,
absolutely fine.
It's fine. It's fine for you to have that opinion.
It's
You're
not an
filming
opinion.
not only marked
It's
officers,
fact.
but staff who
I've
are
already
unmarked
got one
coming
lawsuit
through.
against the MPS for this exact
Okay,
reason.
well, look, I'm not going to debate those situations. Okay. Is anyone available?
We're just going to ask a question if someone can pop down, but yeah. No, it should come out on the radio.
Yeah, bear with me. Okay.
Well, I might just stick around, to be honest. I might just go. But
That's within your gift, right?
well, apparently, because I'm not detained, but you suspect me of being a terrorist because you said you're going to detain me, waiting for a uniform to come and detain me. So clearly, you suspect me of being a
We'd
terrorist.
be more comfortable doing a search when we've got body-worn footage as well. All right. So that's
So you're not going to detain me until the uniform gets here. You're just going to wait. At which point I could just walk away, potentially be a terrorist. As you're saying, you suspect.
it's a developing situation.
It's not, because if you genuinely suspect me of being a terrorist,
I don't
you
really
would
want to
be
engage any
physically
further because
detaining me,
you're
wouldn't
being
you?
provocative, in my opinion, and I think you're doing that on purpose.
No, I'm trying
that's
to
my view.
reason
That's
with you,
my view.
Inspector.
You're not being reasonable because you're interrupting me non-stop. I'm trying to talk, you keep cutting
You
in.
interrupt me as well.
No, I've let you speak. You've said you've made your piece. I've explained what we're looking to do.
Yeah,
Okay, and that's fine.
but it's not fine. That's the issue, Inspector, is that it's not fine. You cannot abuse. You used to have Section 44.
I'm not abusing.
You don't have to
I'm not
talk.
abusing.
You don't have to talk. Do you know you used to have Section 44? Do you know why that got repealed? For this exact reason, didn't it? Didn't it, Chief
So
Superintendent?
why are you filming us now?
Pardon?
Why?
Well, for my own protection. You just said that you're going to detain and search me. As you said, you want body-worn footage. I want my own record as well.
This is where legal knowledge becomes powerful. The superintendent floated terrorism suspicions without actually detaining him, trying to make ordinary filming sound sinister. The auditor stayed composed, asked the key question, and exposed the contradiction immediately. If the threat was genuine, why was he still free to leave? Notice how the auditor kept returning to one devastating point: the detention never matched the allegation. By calmly asking whether he was detained, he forced them to choose between lawful action and an empty threat. The superintendent's confidence weakened because inconsistency is poisonous to authority once it is spoken aloud. This was the chess match ending the moment the bluff got called. Authority froze because the script had failed. Standing your ground combined with legal clarity can force accountability. When you understand the threshold for police powers, confusion cannot corner you. Study the limits, stay calm, and make them justify every step. Would you have challenged that terrorism claim on the spot or walked away once you were told you were not detained? Drop your take in the comments.
We want to make sure officers are safe, so we want to take.
And I want to make sure members of the public are safe from tyrants like yourselves. So if you're going to abuse Section 43, I cannot stop you from doing that, obviously. And I won't resist you. I'm not going to aid you, but I won't resist you. And you will end up with a civil suit, and you will both be up on disciplinary
As we said,
matters.
we're going to wait till the uniform. I think we've both set our piece here. I
No, I haven't finished saying my piece,
Alright,
actually.
you're free to talk.
I know I'm free to
I'm
talk.
gonna respond
I have
to you,
rights.
so-
You don't have to respond. You've said multiple times you're not going to continue engaging, yet you do. As I said, I've made you aware of the memo,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you're refusing to even look it up. I've made you aware, and neither of you are making any sort of concerted effort to look up this memo, to double-check the facts before you get a uniformed officer down here
At the minute,
to detain
my
me and
focus-
search me and abuse my
focus
human
is on the
rights.
situation here, okay?
No,
I
you're
feel
abusing my
comfortable
rights.
Pulling out a phone and doing research right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything
You
about
could get this constable to do it. You could get the chief superintendent to do it.
Once we've got the situation a little bit under control, that's absolutely fine. Right?
Well, sorry, what's your name, Chief? Elizabeth Chappell, and was it Sergeant McKinsky? And your warrant number, sorry? 238826. Thank you. Just so I know exactly who to reference in the complaint to the IOPC.
Absolutely fine.
Absolutely. I will not be bullied by a threat of a search from exercising my right. You know we have human rights in this country. Do you remember your oath? Do either of you remember your oath? No, I doubt that you do you?
We're not going to be responding.
You don't have to, but I can still talk and I can still ask questions.
Okay.
Neither of you remember your oath. You swore an oath to the crown of this country to uphold the human rights of the people. I have an Article 10 right to exercise my freedom of expression. That's exactly what I'm doing.
You don't have the right to film police officers.
I absolutely do. Anywhere in a public place, yes I do. So you're going to come, you're going to come and get a uniform to come with a body-worn camera who has the right to record me, but I don't have the right to record you.
Recording us.
Yeah, but she just said I don't have the right to. Which I absolutely... You just said you don't have the right to record
In the
police
situation
officers.
You're doing, you've raised our suspicions that
Well,
you're,
you're raising my suspicions right now of absolute tyrannical constables. And it's disgusting that it's a superintendent and an inspector. Absolutely despicable.
Okay, no problem.
You keep saying no problem, but it is a huge problem. A huge, huge, huge problem.
Things shifted dramatically when the officers claimed they could record him, but he supposedly could not record them. The superintendent questioned his rights in public, doubled down on suspicion, and tried to shut the conversation down. The auditor responded by citing Article 10, requesting complaint details, and openly challenging the claim. Notice how he attacked the contradiction rather than the volume of the argument. He asked for names, warrant numbers, and complaint references while the officers continued interrupting. That strategy transformed emotion into evidence. The moment he framed the issue as one of public rights and accountability, the conversation changed. The officers stopped sounding certain and started sounding defensive. This was the moment the spotlight turned back on authority itself. A single challenge about the right to film police in public exposed the weakness in the argument. When you understand public space filming rules, intimidation cannot rewrite reality. Learn the guidance, stay composed, and make every official claim stand up to scrutiny. Did you know police can generally be filmed in public, or would that claim have caught you off guard in the moment?
So you've obviously listened to the inspector's side of it. So for you to make an informed decision, and I'll be polite with you, I'd like you to hear my side of it, okay, and I think that's only fair. So I came here, as I explained to the first person that approached, I came here to try and get some shots of marked vehicles coming in and out, like this one. If obviously it wasn't being obstructed, I would get a nice sweep shot of a marked vehicle going in. Right, so let me finish. I've advised the Chief Superintendent and the Inspector that there is a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council, okay, that clearly explains vloggers and social media auditors filming police stations, and that it is not to be used as a ground for a Section 43 search, okay? Now, obviously, I've just heard the inspector say that it's down to you and it is ultimately your decision whether to do a search. As such, if you detain me and search me, you will be the one that is liable, because you'll be the one detaining and searching. You would be the one that is liable under the IOPC complaint procedures for disciplinary and dismissal, okay? So I would advise that, yes, your superiors are suggesting that you do something, but I would suggest that you have some common sense, at least look up this memo before you take any further action. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I would suggest that you look up this memo before you put yourself in a bad situation because a chief superintendent and an inspector is asking you to. Okay, because you are the one that is ultimately responsible for your actions as a constable, and they don't have the balls to detain me and search me themselves.
Okay, are you aware that there's not a lot of marked vehicles vehicles that come in and out.
I wasn't aware of that, no, but I appreciate you telling me. I didn't know that because I've not been here before.
You've not been here before?
No.
Okay.
So how would I know that?
So, were you not here earlier?
No.
No.
No. Well, have you had somebody else here filming today?
Well, I've just been told that you were here earlier.
No, I've been here 14 minutes.
Okay. And how long are you staying here?
As long as a piece of string, my friend. You know, like I said, that shot that I've just missed because I'm now engaging in this conversation with you probably would have been enough to get my footage. And I probably would have been on my way. But obviously now I'm going to have to wait for another vehicle because I need to complete my footage.
Okay.
You know.
How many vehicles are you looking for?
Just one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Just like one police car.
Yeah, marked vehicle. Yeah. It's just so it's.
Why are you filming?
Pardon?
Why are you filming?
Because I'm interested. You know, we all have individual interests, don't we?
I know everyone tends to have like their own different reasons.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, and I have the right to freedom of expression in this country.
Exactly.
You know, and I absolutely have that right. I'm not trespassing onto your secure areas. I was stood at there. I clearly filmed the fact that you got the authorised vehicles only and the police personnel only sign. And so I made a point to point that out for my footage. And the fact that I'm not going past that, I stood there to film through. All I could see was a forensics unit. And I said, and I was like,
just an officer coming out of their personal vehicle. Can you not film that? It's just,
I mean, no, because I need to keep the camera pointed at you guys right
well,
now.
you can point at me, just not at their personal vehicle.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to point it directly at that. I'm not going. Okay. I'm not directly pointing it. I'm pointing it at you. If that's in the background, it's in the background.
That's their personal vehicle.
It is.
Watch what happens when preparation meets authority. The constable arrived after hearing only the officer's version and appeared ready to act on their suspicion. The auditor slowed everything down, insisted on explaining his side, and warned the officer about personal responsibility for any decision made. In that moment, accountability shifted directly onto the constable. Notice how the auditor redirected the entire encounter by calmly pointing out that while superiors may give instructions, each officer remains responsible for their own actions. That observation changed the dynamic immediately. The constable became less focused on enforcing pressure and more focused on assessing the situation for himself. This was the moment authority met accountability. A simple reminder about personal responsibility disrupted the momentum of blind compliance. Knowledge creates caution, especially when decisions may have consequences. Once an officer begins considering individual accountability, questionable instructions lose much of their force. Learn the guidance, stay calm, and make every decision-maker own their choice. Would you have trusted the new constable to independently assess the situation, or expected him to follow rank and carry out the search?
You're getting their registration plate on their face.
I will try to blur it out, if
Will you?
possible. Yeah.
I don't
only
really.
real issue we have.
No, because you were polite about it, I will try to blur it out, depending if I can, because sometimes, depending on the shot with you two stood there, it's not always possible.
Our sort of standpoint, the only real issue that we have, right, is the fact that you're obviously free to film whatever you want. Right?
Absolutely, thank you, I appreciate
The
that.
only issue comes when you're filming officers not in uniform, leaving
Yeah.
in their personal.
But again, you're making assumptions that that's what I'm
It's not an assumption
doing.
of you.
I'm not making an assumption or anything. I'm just
Exactly.
saying that the problem stands when that thing
Okay,
happens.
but again, that's not illegal,
So,
is it?
Up until then,
It's not illegal to do that. I can record every personal vehicle coming in and out. And you can ask questions. I don't like the fact
That's
that,
what we're here doing.
but I don't like the fact that. No. Yeah, but we are, but they weren't. I'm fussed about it. I had the chief superintendent and an inspector threaten me with a Section 43 search. They should know about the memo. They are like the highest ranking constables. No, I can't.
With the Section 43, that's underneath the terrorism.
Sure.
If we feel like what your actions are doing will pose a personal risk to any officers that aren't in uniform, because you're getting.
Sorry, you're quite softly spoken. That's all
Because
right.
you're basically getting their legal information that way by recording their registers and things like that. That sort of raises our sort of threat level. So we're like, oh, why is he recording these officers? What's he planning to do with that video? That's where our ground stands. It's not to say that necessarily we are going to be searching Section 43. But that is an option that we
It's
do
not.
have.
It's not enough grounds. That the memo clearly covers this. It's not an offence to film anybody's registration plate, personal or private. I'm having a conversation with the constable. You can bugger off. No, I'm done with you. You didn't want to talk to me. Now I don't want to talk to you. No, not to him. To you, I will be. Because and I'll continue with it. I'll continue that with you. He can bugger off. I'm done with him. But
why exactly did he what was he up to?
because the inspector, as I said, the inspector and the chief superintendent came out demanding ID and saying that I have to provide it, and then saying that they're going to get a uniform out to search me under Section 43. Yes, good plan. But yeah, it's not a power in this situation that you have the right to use. You have to have objectionable, okay, solid grounds, and there are specific grounds under Section 43 that you need to have. And pardon? That's not my job to tell you that. No.
Clearly, you know the legislation.
I do know the legislation very well. I know this legislation very well. As I explained to the chief superintendent and the inspector, I already have a lawsuit against the NPS for an illegal search under Section 43, and that's in the process of going through right now. And it's not my goal to get a lawsuit. It's honestly, it's not. All right.
Do you have like a YouTube channel?
Pardon?
Do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
Maybe.
You're
But
allowed to tell me if you've got.
I know I'm allowed to tell. I'm allowed to tell you. I know, but
oh no, that's the guy.
I mean, you'll find it anyway. If I upload it, you'll find it. But sorry, forensic vehicle coming in. But
That exchange revealed everything about this encounter. The officer finally admitted he was free to film, then immediately tried reframing number plates and risk-related details as a terrorism concern. The auditor remained composed, corrected the legal threshold, and reminded them that senior officers had already pushed beyond their authority earlier in the interaction. The tension shifted quickly. Notice how the auditor allowed the officer's own argument to expose the contradiction. By calmly separating lawful filming from genuine terrorism suspicion, he highlighted that the concern being raised appeared speculative rather than evidence-based. The change in tone was immediate. Once the legal standard was clearly identified, the officer's position became harder to maintain and the conversation moved from assertion to justification. This was preparation becoming protection in real time. The terrorism label lost much of its impact, and authority suddenly appeared uncertain. When you understand the threshold officers must meet before using certain powers, fear has less influence over the encounter. Study the rules, stay calm, and make authority justify its actions lawfully. Would you have challenged that Section 43 threat calmly, or would the terrorism label alone have pressured you into compliance?
But yeah, I mean, obviously, where was I, sorry? Where was I up to?
You were talking about your lawsuit.
Oh yeah, so I've got a lawsuit ongoing for this exact thing, right? I was filming somewhere in London, they didn't like the fact that I was filming, the police, because I didn't want to give them my information, and I didn't want to explain my reason for what I was doing, I think I've given you more information than I gave them. I've told you I'm waiting for marked vehicles to come out. Yeah. I might get a drone over. It's not a flight restricted zone, I might get a drone over yet, because obviously I can't see the marked vehicles from standing here, so I'm going to have to get a drone over to get those shots. It's very loud. Well, that's not helpful with a headache. But yeah.
Do you have a drone on you now?
Pardon?
Do you have a drone on you now?
Yeah, it's in my rucksack.
Is it like a little small?
Yeah.
Like a DJI one?
DJI Mini. Yeah, you know the drill. So, but yeah, so I might get that up. But yeah.
DJI Minis, are they actually good?
Yeah, they're really good.
What do you want?
I've got the Mini SE, which is like the baseline one.
Are these the ones that are a grand?
No, mine was.
Can be a grand.
Yeah, like the Mini 3 is like 850 quid.
I think I've looked at yeah, don't even need to be here. You can
Yeah.
look at it if you want.
I'm just like,
You cracking on, yeah?
I don't understand what you had to
Okay,
do.
can I just say to you before we go, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my side of it and not just the inspectors, and I really appreciate the fact that you haven't put yourself in a bad situation because of your superiors, because you seem like a nice friendly bloke, I'm not gonna lie. that laugh is telling me otherwise.
Yeah, no, he's good.
No, but you seem reasonable, and I'm glad that you haven't put yourself in a bad situation. All right? Absolutely. But yeah, something's telling me otherwise. 1594, I'm gonna have to look into you a little bit more.
I think what we just really wanted to say to you is obviously you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
All we're saying is, personally, we have our own vehicles here. We're going home. It's not you necessarily. It's people that might watch your media and see that sort of information on there.
And I get that.
And
I get that to an extent.
Like, I'd rather not. Well, I'm not driving home anytime soon. My shift finishes in like 6 hours later. But like, that's please be considerate of obviously our privacy.
Yeah, and I get that to an extent, and it's never my objective to stand here.
Right.
And if they had searched me, and when the search would have come back negative, I would have made a point of standing here and filming every single one and publishing them out of spite, and I would have.
We have to you believe that you are a terrorist.
Absolutely.
Performing hostile reconnaissance.
Absolutely.
Now,
And hostile reconnaissance, according to memo, by its very nature, is covert.
Jesus, you've swallowed that fully.
Yeah, I mean, when you do public photography and you're interested in filming the
yeah,
police, you do need to know your
it's
shit.
It's good to know your rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
This moment is why understanding the law matters. The officer shifted from a friendly conversation to suggesting a terrorism-related rationale for filming number plates, officers, and vehicles leaving the site. The auditor responded calmly, referenced his ongoing lawsuit, and made it clear that the earlier Section 43 threat lacked a proper basis. Notice how he remained respectful without giving ground. He thanked the officer for listening while keeping the legal boundary firmly in place. That approach moved the discussion away from emotion and back to the legal threshold that had to be met. Once Section 43 was defined and discussed accurately, the officer's tone softened and the balance shifted toward the informed citizen. This is what happens when knowledge meets intimidation. The terrorism label loses its impact, the narrative begins to unravel, and authority has fewer options available. Standing your ground combined with legal knowledge can change the entire dynamic of an encounter. When you understand the threshold for extraordinary police powers, vague warnings carry far less weight. Learn the rules, stay calm, and make officials justify every action properly. Would you have remained this calm after hearing Section 43 mentioned, or would the terrorism label alone have been enough to shake your confidence?
You're not the only person that sort of does this. We have people when we're, not just here, but when we drive to calls and stuff, they stand on the side of the road and we'll wait and we'll film and stuff.
Yeah, I always will.
We
Just
don't
for
have an
everybody's
issue with
safety, the public's and yours, because you have your body cams on, but obviously when you're dealing with
Yeah.
a situation, you're so up close, sometimes it
They're on
doesn't
the
show it.
system.
But then if I've got footage and something happens to you, something happens to the member of the public, there's an objective full shot of it, you know what I mean?
Even when we're dealing with members of the public and things like that,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can send us their own footage. But
Yeah, yeah.
from your perspective, we don't know what you're doing behind the camera. So like, there could
No,
be times
that's-
where, you know, like we've turned up to something and someone seems to have got like some mobile phone footage
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and this person's absolutely kicking off. But behind the camera, they could be going. and
They
stuff
could
like
be.
that, but we don't know that.
They could be.
I missed the answer earlier. How long are you staying for? Just whenever?
I'd say that, yeah. As long as a piece of string.
One marked police car in there, and then a couple of carriers, and then most of them are personal vehicles.
Okay.
So there's no cars, no officers here are trained on sort of blue lights.
Okay.
So no one's going to come out for
On
your
lights,
video
okay.
like on blue lights.
Okay.
Stuff, but they
Well,
shouldn't do.
in that case, what I'll do is I'll just get the drone over because
Yeah,
that obviously it will get the top of your personal vehicles, but it's not got the
That's
angle
what-
to get your
I
reg numbers
think-
or anything. So
Yeah, that's fine. As long as obviously they're just cars, but it's the main
Yeah.
issue I think is when our colleagues are in them and going home. It's like
yeah, again,
you're-
it's not my objective to get
Again,
that.
we're not saying that it's you personally that filmed it
No.
for that reason, but people can look at your media and content. And
Sure,
just
but
like
if somebody like specifically really wanted to come and do some damage to this station, there's Google Earth. Like
There
if they
is.
wanted access
And
points,
you-
there's Google
and
Street Maps,
you're making
and
a
they could go
point.
stand in the park over there, look like they're just playing in the park,
Yeah.
and actually be
You're
noting
making
down
good points,
every
but
registration that's
it's-
coming in and
if we
out.
can
You know,
limit
they
the-
could do their own
yeah,
reconnaissance.
If we can limit the means and stuff, that would be better.
Yeah, again, it's not my objective
No,
because you
no.
guys have been reasonable. I'm not going to like film every vehicle. The one in the background, I will try and blur
What's
it.
your name? You have a nickname or
No,
YouTube name
I don't
or-
give it out. I don't give it out.
What, are you on YouTube now?
Nah, I don't give anything
What, so we
out.
can't watch the video of ourselves?
Oh, you can. Like, I won't name it anything obscure.
Is it
I'll-
going to be called like Auditing Mitcham Police Station?
It'll be something around it'll have Mitcham Police Station in it. What day are we
When
on now?
uploading it?
Probably late in the weekend, early next week. I've got a few other videos going out on that, so but
Cool. Well, I see no need for us to really stand here anymore, to be
No,
honest.
brilliant.
Yeah, just do what you do. Obviously, yeah, I don't know what else I
can
can
I
say.
can I just ask you a favour?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you please educate your chief superintendent and inspector?
To be fair to you, mate, like, you've got to remember that where they are in the positions they are, they're not.
No, because if
They're
they
not talking to members of the public like yourself every day.
it doesn't matter. Like they're higher rank. They set the example for you guys at the end of the day, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah, but
if they had taken this time to have this chat with me, they would come to the same conclusion that you guys have come to, that I'm not here for any terrorist activity, and that I'm just doing what I do for my social media.
Yeah.
And I even said to them about them when I mentioned the memo to them. I said it explains about social media vloggers and auditors, and they still didn't clock in their head. You know what I mean? Like they're just not switched on upstairs. They should not be in that
They're very
position.
privy to a lot more of the safety briefings, counter-terrorism briefings. Obviously, police officers do get followed home.
Yeah.
We get followed home a lot.
Huh?
It happens. It's scary for us.
Absolutely,
So for
but
them as well,
you know
they're-
that risk when you
they're
take the job on, don't you? I mean,
Not
to be
necessarily. I
honest.
just don't think it's acceptable.
That moment right there is accountability in action. The officers moved from suspicion to concession, admitting they saw no reason to keep standing over him while still expressing concerns about personal vehicles and online viewers. The auditor remained measured, responded strategically, and turned a tense encounter into a productive dialogue. Notice how he matched their tone without giving up his position. He acknowledged their safety concerns, then answered with logic they could not easily dismiss. The officer's posture softened once they realized he was not hiding anything, panicking, or escalating the situation. Because he stayed calm, they lost much of the justification for continued pressure. This is transparency creating restraint in real time. The hovering, the suspicion, and the pressure began to fade. Legal clarity acted like armor, absorbing vague suspicion without forcing unnecessary concessions. When you understand the guidance and remain respectful, you can make every official justify interference with actual legal authority rather than assumptions. Did you notice how quickly the suspicion faded once the conversation stayed calm? Would you have held your ground the same way or backed off to avoid further confrontation?
I don't think it's acceptable, but it's a risk of your job. The police, there is a dissolution between the public and the police, unfortunately, and I do think we all need to work on that from both sides to build that bridge.
I disagree, but that's fine.
But I mean, you guys are in special measures. I mean, let's face it, that doesn't happen for no reason. There are 5 or 6 forces in this country that are in special
that
measures.
reflect on how we are as individual officers.
Not as individual officers, and that's why I give everybody their fair due. You're like, I've had a civil conversation with you, I'll be respectful to you because I'll give everybody their fair due. When they came out and started demanding ID and throwing around Section 43, you're not going to get the same side of me. The same way that if I start being abusive to you, I'm not going to get the same side of you. We all have different parts of ourselves, and I think respect on both sides goes a long way, and I will give everybody that until they show me they don't need it. Jahari's box. I'm a psychologist, so yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Photographer, drone flyer.
Amateur photographer, psychologist by training.
How long have you been doing
Photography? On and off since I was a teenager, really.
You're allowed to call yourself an amateur photographer at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
you've got more than enough experience.
No, I mean, I literally just use a mobile phone and like some basic editing software. I don't. Yeah, iPhone. I don't go around with a DSLR or anything like that. It's just purely amateur. Like, it's not anything special. I don't use Photoshop or anything.
Even people with like a whole DSLR and they're using Photoshop
and they still can't do shit with it. But just hobbyists, really.
We'll leave you to it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, please.
Just so I know who I've spoken to, we've got 2351 and yourself there.
1601.
1601, and I got yours already. Southwest, brilliant. Well, I really appreciate your time today, guys. I'm really glad that you guys didn't fuck up. Please let them know that they will still be getting a complaint regardless of the fact that I didn't get searched.
You taking their name?
Yeah. I've got everything.
Paper or
on record, I've got it all on video. But yeah. Alright, guys, I'll let you crack on. Just one more thing, I don't think any of you let me know you were recording me. Obviously, that is in your policies. I literally looked that up this morning as well, and it's literally like the first paragraph of the first section that you do have to verbally announce so that it's not covert. I'm not going to give you a hard time and putting complaints about it because you have been very reasonable. But I would be within my rights to please remember to make sure that you verbally announce to members of the public when you start recording them. You are subject to GDPR. Obviously, I don't know that I've been recorded, a member of the public that doesn't know that they've been recorded, they don't know that they've got data to access under their rights. And also you could be contravening REPA because by not mentioning you, you're actually covertly recording, which is a seriously indictable offence actually. And I wouldn't want to see you guys get in that situation. So for everybody's safety, for yours and the public's, please remember to just let them know. I appreciate that. Alrighty guys. Cheers. Cheers, alright. Take care.
Sure you don't want to tell us the YouTube name?
Nah, you'll find it.
Nothing's going to happen.
You'll find it. Oh, you say that, but I've given up. No, because like, I'm not zooming in. I'm just getting a nice thumbnail with some smiley faces. But no, I've given out my channel before, and it's easily trackable. You want to get in it? Go on. Give us a nice smiley. Yeah, you're already on the video. You might as well get a nice smiley pic. That's what I like, chaps. Brilliant, lovely. I might forward that to the station for you guys. You can have it up on your wall. Take care.
That exchange reveals everything about this encounter. The officers ended the stop smiling and joking, but only after being challenged on body-worn cameras, ID demands, and Section 43 threats. The auditor remained courteous, kept his criticism precise, and turned what could have been a hostile ending into a lesson on accountability. Notice how he separated courtesy from compliance. He thanked the officers for being reasonable while still correcting the recording issue without raising his voice. That approach mattered psychologically. The officers could accept the criticism without feeling publicly defeated, while the person who understood the rules maintained control of the conversation. This is transparency bringing authority back within its proper limits. Calm criticism is often more effective than confrontation because it removes the emotional fuel from the encounter. Composure combined with legal knowledge creates leverage. When you understand policy and procedure, you can challenge questionable conduct without escalating tensions. That is a powerful advantage. Stay polite, stay precise, and make accountability unavoidable. Did you know officers should make body-worn camera recording clear at the earliest opportunity, or would you have missed that issue entirely? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you want more content like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because the moment you know your rights, the balance starts to shift.